All right, YouTube, what is going on? It's Zaya here from Zaya and the Steelers, and we are back with another video. And in this video, you guys can consider this my flu game because I have been deathly sick. If you guys saw my live towards the end of it, I was starting to feel the effects, and it is reared its big old sick head into my life. However, I woke up from my NyQuil-induced coma, and I realized we are living in the year 2005 because if you guys look at the current NFL standings and the current AFC standings, you will see the Colts, you will see the Steelers, you will see the Chargers, and you will see the Patriots. Now, obviously, the NFL as a whole, it's, even what's his name on the Giants, like the Giants maybe even coming back, Eli Manning, he's back. But this is a Steelers channel, and so I mainly want to focus on how positive things are looking for the Steelers. But it is still a nice callback to my childhood, I guess, with the current NFL outlook of things. But yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers are sitting at 4-1. We are the top of the AFC North, and we are second in command in terms of the AFC. And with number one being the Indianapolis Colts, I know they're a Daniel Jones led team. I know, I'm supposed to believe in the Colts or whatever, but if you guys know me, if you guys have been following, I don't necessarily believe in the Colts, just like I don't necessarily believe in the Chargers, just like I don't necessarily believe in the Patriots, and people cannot necessarily believe in us. But as the Steelers fan, this NFL, this AFC seems very, very, very takeable. You know what I'm saying? It seems like the Pittsburgh Steelers can get the job done and potentially win the AFC. But for now, I kind of just want to talk about how we got here, what narratives are going on with the Steelers, and why I feel good about this team. So, starting it off, you can see this is another one. This is the AFC as a whole. We got the Colts, the Steelers, the Chargers, Patriots, Buffalo, Jacksonville, Denver. Kansas City right now is currently missing the playoffs. And looking at this, kind of, I guess, outlook of the AFC as a whole, I mentioned the Colts aren't that crazy. The Chargers, to me, aren't that crazy. New England, same thing. We beat them. Buffalo isn't playing as good as, we thought that they were going to do. Kansas City, the prohibited AFC champions, they've been the AFC champions for the last, 5 seasons. They are down here at the bottom. Denver is, kind of peeking its way in. Jacksonville is doing its thing. But to me, and I feel like everybody else, there is no clear-cut AFC winner as of right now, unless you're a Colts fan. If you're a Colts fan, I'm sorry, I'm disrespecting you, but I just don't necessarily believe in the Colts like that. And so the Steelers, we are sitting here at the number 2 seed, and right now I believe if the playoffs started, we would play the Denver Broncos. And if you guys know, I've been kind of all hands on deck towards the Pittsburgh Steelers winning a playoff game, right? That to me is like a positive, a positive end to the season. As long as we can finish the season without getting blown the hell out, as long as we can finish the season without, wanting to turn the game off. If we even lose, right? If we lose, but it's a shootout and we get the ball at the end and maybe things just don't go our way or something, as long as we leave that game not wanting to throw our TV out the window, to me, that is improvement. That is progressing on to the next step of winning another Super Bowl, right? Because the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons that the Steelers have played, every one of our last games has been horrible. It's been a train wreck. It's just been unwatchable television. And so yes, we're sitting here at the 2 seed. We're playing Denver in the first round if it started today, and I feel comfortable in that game, just like I feel comfortable against all of these teams specifically. And speaking of the Steelers, obviously we have a lot of new players in this season. We have Jalen Ramsey, we have Aaron Rodgers, we have DK Metcalf, and they were called locker room cancers, and people thought that the Steelers front office was stupid for bringing these 3 in this offseason. I think it's paid off nicely so far. It has indeed paid off very nicely for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We see DK Metcalf has had a touchdown in his last 3 or 4 games or something like that. He's been proving his worth, and then Jalen Ramsey specifically, because we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers too as well. Aaron Rodgers, he's a hero to me. Honestly, I know I was kind of, before the season started, I was kind of out on Aaron. However, I am fully all the way back in. I have a track record. I like Aaron Rodgers, and so the fact that he's a Steeler, it really brings life to me. However, this former Jacksonville Jaguar, this former Miami Dolphin, this former, hindrance to my happiness, Jalen Ramsey, has been absolutely balling for the Steelers. And so with all that said, I wanted to share this quote right here from Mike Tomlin because I kind of share similar beliefs when it comes to Jalen Ramsey. Mike Tomlin said, "I can't say enough about Jalen Ramsey. He's been everything we hoped. He's been everything we'd hoped he'd be. Safe to say, coaches love his new cornerback. And yes, Jalen, he's been absolutely fantastic. And mind you, he's even missed a game. But if you watched our last game against the Cleveland Browns, the guy got 2 sacks. If you watched our first game against the Jets, he made the game-winning pass breakup. He's just been flying around all over the field. And and this is what everybody told us, right? He is not this prototypical lockdown corner, one-on-one man up. He's just going to lock you up. No, I mean, he can do that. He used to be able to do that. But now he is like a flex player. He is a football player because this guy, he rushes the pass. He hits hard. As a cornerback, his tackling ability. I've seen podcasts before where they talk about Jalen being like an underrated tackler, an underrated open field tackler. And this is the Pittsburgh Steelers team that notoriously be missing tackles all the time. And so to have Jalen Ramsey out there flying around, to have him making the splash plays has been a very, very, very positive turning point for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And when we talk about it, obviously we received Jalen Ramsey for Minkah Fitzpatrick, and we were all Minkah fans, sort of, right? Like we loved Minkah when we first got him. I think Minkah's splash plays started like really high up, like here, and then slowly kind of progressed down. And you can blame like the defensive schematics for it. You can blame his safety counterpart because we ended up getting rid of Terrell Edmonds. And we really didn't have that other position on lock until recently when we got Deshaun Elliott. But you can blame, kind of the schematics of things. You look at his career right now on Miami, and I believe Minkah has an interception or whatever, but like he's not necessarily doing the best. And like I said, I liked Minkah. I'm not gonna like get on here and shit on Minkah or whatever. But things were going bad, especially like late in the season, the last couple of seasons. We have obviously the Derrick Henry, he's stiff arming him into hell. In that Bills playoff game, he's missed some tackles, and Josh Allen, he gets like a 40-yard touchdown in the playoffs. It's just we were kind of reeling over the whole Minkah Fitzpatrick thing, but losing him still was pretty tough. It was pretty sad. We had no idea what was gonna happen when we lose Minkah Fitzpatrick. And Jalen Ramsey coming in, he was kind of being doubted. He was kind of being slept on. He was getting written off. He was getting, said he was overpaid. He was too old. He was this. He was that. Jalen Ramsey, for right now, has been a very, very, very positive player on the Steelers. And like low key, he should have always been a Steeler, honestly. Like the way he plays, he was born to be in the black and gold. And with how good he's playing, I mentioned this very early on. I am willing to forgive the fact that he was a member of the 2017 Jaguars. I am willing to forgive the fact that he was a member of that team that literally took 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 plus years off my life. I am willing to forget the fact that Jalen Ramsey's Jacksonville Jaguar team ruined our best chance at a Super Bowl because now here he is in 2025, almost 10 years later, and he is absolutely balling out and hooping for us. And when we look at the defense right now, we talked about, beginning in the season, they were kind of playing slow per se. Like we were letting up a lot of points. We were letting, Justin Fields, the 0-6 led New York Jets, Justin Fields quarterback, we were letting him do whatever he wanted to our defense. We were letting like the Patriots and the Seahawks, they just scored all types of ways against us. But it seems like the defense has picked it up drastically. Now, obviously, we did get Jalen Ramsey back. Yes, sir. The game against Cleveland, we got Jalen Ramsey back. We got Joey Porter Jr. back. We got Alex Highsmith back. And like with all of these additions, it's like the defense is all the way back, and they're playing like that hype defense that we got in the preseason process. Because before the season started, everybody was talking about our defense. And like we have had this, star-studded defense for a while. We've had TJ Watt. We've had, Alex Highsmith and Pat. Oh my God, I don't have anything about Patrick Queen. I haven't even mentioned Patrick Queen. But Patrick Queen is drastically living up to that contract. We signed him last season and like it was kind of slow, but for now, Patrick Queen is playing very, very good. And that bullshit Dylan Gabriel did to him, I don't have it up right now, but that bullshit Dylan Gabriel did to him, honestly, I'm gonna just mention it, it's Bush League, what people say. Like I think that's the term people say, Bush League. If you guys didn't see, pretty much Patrick Queen had the opportunity to absolutely blast and ruin Dylan Gabriel's career. Literally could have hit sticked him into oblivion and then paid the fine. He literally could have helmet to helmeted him. He could have shoulder checked. Like he could have like smoked Dylan Gabriel. Like honestly, go watch the play. He could have murdered him. Honestly. But Dylan like he doesn't. He like kind of lets off. He goes a little bit low, but like really lets off, right? And then Dylan Gabriel just like pushes him while he's on the ground, and it was very, very weird, honestly. And like especially when obviously Dylan's frustrated or whatever. But especially when you think about the fact that Patrick Queen literally could have decapitated Dylan Gabriel in the game. And then, Dylan, he's just acting the way he did. It was just a little weird, right? And so Patrick Queen, despite all that, he has been playing absolutely out of his mind. He's been living up to his contract. And we look at the Baltimore Ravens defense that's currently reeling, the 1-5 Baltimore Ravens. And all of the shit that they talked about Patrick Queen, because it was like, oh, Patrick Queen is nothing without Roquan Smith. Patrick Queen, he's not actually that good. Turns out, Patrick Queen is actually that good. And so our defense is playing lights out. And in my opinion, Jalen Ramsey, and you can even see Darius Slay over here, he's been making some plays. And it's in large part to Jalen Ramsey's splash play ability and his veteran leadership, honestly. And I said all of that without mentioning TJ Watt and Nick Herbig and maybe even Alex Highsmith on his first game back, and Derek Harmon. I didn't even mention Derek Harmon. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm saying. Our defense is so good that if we can just get it together on offense, if we can continuously finish drives with points, we might be able to go out and do this thing, right? And speaking of the offense, I have this play up right here because this was the touchdown to DK Metcalf, right? So this is a fucking, well, look at this pocket. You know, it's only a four-man rush. It is what it is from the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are sporting a relatively good defense, right? But you can see this is a beautiful pocket for Aaron Rodgers. Like literally, he could have held on to this ball for 20 more seconds. He could have, you know, went to the bench, got a Gatorade, let Skylar Thompson get in there, let him earn some money back because he got mugged in Ireland. Like he could have did all of that, came back and still threw this pass because he had so much time. But something I want to specifically focus on is on this right side over here, because we have Broderick Jones putting Myles Garrett in absolute prison. And I wanted to double back on the whole Broderick Jones thing because if you've been watching my channel, if you've been keeping up with the Steelers, you guys know Broderick Jones has been a polarizing player because we took him in the first round and he hasn't necessarily lived up to the whole thing. Now, our offensive line schematics, our offensive line coaching could play a huge factor in that. The fact that we put him in the wrong position for 2 seasons could play a huge factor in that. But at the end of the day, nobody really cared, right? Like no one really cared that maybe Broderick Jones was getting the short end of the stick because his play on the field just was not good at all. He was constantly missing blocks. He was constantly blocking nobody. And there was a lot of negative things said about Broderick Jones. I'm here to say over the last couple of weeks, Broderick Jones has been playing very well. And the fact that he had Myles Garrett with a life sentence in prison all Sunday last week is very positive to see. Myles Garrett literally did not record a single stat in this game. He was virtually useless. He was virtually out there doing cardio. And if you've seen him at the end of the game, he was on the press, you know, the post game interview. He was on there giving concession speeches. He was on there all sad, talking about like we lose the same way every year, or we lose the same way every game. Like the offense, they can't produce points. The defense, we're playing so well. Mind you, they gave up like 26 points to the 41-year-old quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. They gave up 26 points to the Pittsburgh Steelers led, Jalen Warren led, DK Metcalf led Pittsburgh Steelers. Our shitty offense, our Arthur Smith led offense, they gave up like 30 points to us. But yeah, you know, let's throw your quarterback under the bus. Let's throw your offense under the bus. A real nice guy, Myles Garrett is. And despite all of the things Myles Garrett has said and done, you know, it is what it is. I'm a Steelers fan. I'm a hate on Myles Garrett. And on that day, he got absolutely crushed by Broderick Jones. And so shout out to Broderick Jones. He's been playing very well as of recent. And speaking of Aaron Rodgers, I wanted to show this play as well. We've all seen it, I'm sure. But this throw to Connor fucking Hayward, man. Because obviously the DK Metcalf touchdown, it was very nice. It was just like, you know, a fade route or whatever. But this throw right here to me is special. So you can see it's going to be a play action pass. He's going to roll out. Fucking Jalen Warren as a blocker doesn't get talked about enough. But like right, you can see he takes 91 completely out of the play. So he's gone. He's out of there. And Aaron Rodgers, he's on the run. Mind you, the guy is on the run. And you can see down here, Mr. Connor Hayward is rearing his head in. Aaron Rodgers, he motions him. He's like, yo, back up that way. I'm going to throw this on the outside. He points at him. And then on the run off 1 foot, just fucking throws a dart. And like I should just let it play, but I just need you guys to understand. I'm sure you guys have seen it a million times. But this is a fucking bonkers throw from Aaron Rodgers. And the receiver is Connor Hayward. He threw the ball so good that Connor Hayward was able to get it. And I'm not trying to sleep on Connor Hayward because there's a lot of people who are, but I'm just saying, it's not like this was Antonio Brown catching it. It's not like this was the DK Metcalf. This was the fucking Connor Hayward. And if Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy, if we can continuously give him the pockets that we've been giving him to pass, if he can make throws like this all the time where Connor Hayward it's literally only Connor Hayward could have caught this ball. I don't know how many times I'm going to show it. Shout out to Rick the Sizzler for providing us with this, you know, TikTok content. But it was just fantastic, really. And like the way Aaron is playing, I talked about it. He's been fantastic for us. I'm really happy he's on the team. I'm really happy we got him as opposed to letting Mason Rudolph play. And yeah, Aaron Rodgers, he's huge, and the offense is huge. And speaking of our offense being huge, and speaking of huge, he's not 6'5", he's not 6'6". I'm not gonna do it. 6'7", you know, you guys know what was coming. But anyway, the Steelers are undefeated, 7-0 all time when Darnell Washington gets 40+ snaps. More Mount Washington, the better. If you guys have been watching this channel, I've been begging and pleading with the team to please utilize Darnell Washington more in the pass game, and it's seeming like that is going to happen more and more. He's been getting more snaps throughout, And we started the game last week with a pass to Darnell, and he took it like 30 or 40 yards. He's becoming a real problem, and like obviously his ability in the blocking department is one thing, but if he can become this wide receiver for us, if he can become this pass catcher for us, then he is going to be a real weapon. And not only is he going to be a real weapon, but he's going to make a lot of money, honestly. And it probably won't be with us because, we hate paying players or whatever. But he's going to make a lot of money if he continues to catch the ball at the rate that he's doing it, if he continues to be this threat that he is. And that's not even counting the fact that he's like a sixth offensive lineman out there. Like we're 7-0 when the guy plays 40 plus snaps. So it's getting into the TJ Watt category because if you guys don't remember, I mean, it's still true to this day. If TJ Watt doesn't play, we typically lose. We're like 2-52 when TJ Watt doesn't play, and we are 7-0 when Darnell Washington gets 40 plus snaps. If you guys are WWE fans, when you see Undertaker at WrestleMania, barring the matches we don't count, barring that, you see Undertaker at WrestleMania, you are going to lose that match. If you see Darnell Washington play 40 plus snaps, you are going to lose that game. It just is what it is. And so Darnell Washington becoming like a very big part of the offense to me has been absolutely fantastic. And then I mentioned it, Nick Herbig in the last 3 games, he's had 6 tackles, 11 quarterback hits, and 4.5 sacks. Nick Herbig is also going to be making a lot of fucking money. And I don't necessarily want to do this, but the narrative has been, now we're gonna trade Alex Highsmith for potentially a wide receiver. I'm not sure if we're gonna do that. Nick Herbig is gonna get paid as well. He's gonna make a lot of money as well. And so for now, he's way more than depth. Obviously, he's way more than depth. But if we're able to just continuously rotate Nick, Alex, and TJ, if we can just keep rotating them in and out and allowing them to get fresh, this season alone, just this one season, it could be special. It really could be special because Nick Herbig, getting him in the draft that we did, has been fantastic. And I just want to put it out there that we got Nick Herbig, we got Broderick Jones, we got Joey Porter Jr., we got Peyton Wilson, we got Spencer Anderson, the offensive lineman who's been playing really well for us. We got him. And maybe a few other pieces. We got all of them in the same draft. It was Omar Khan's first draft, I think. And we've been drafting really well. And then you see Derek Harmon, who's been absolutely killing it. We were talking about we need our first round picks to start eating. Derek Harmon has been absolutely fantastic this season as well. And so Omar Khan as the drafter, he has been outstanding. He has been, just all power to him. It's just been fantastic. Like the young talent in Pittsburgh that's growing, that we're developing. It's been a great sight to see, and I'm hoping that we can continue this momentum, take down the Bengals, and then that's when the real kind of tough games start or whatever. But I truly believe in this team. I'm like back drinking the Steelers Kool-Aid. I think that we have a real shot in the AFC, and I just gotta hope that they don't, let me down. All I want is a playoff game. If they want to go out and get more for me, if they want to go out and get a Super Bowl, that would be fantastic too. And I know we would all be excited about that. But with all that said, I think I am going to get out of here because I feel like shit. Honestly, I really do not feel good. However, I wanted to get it out. I really wanted to talk about the Steelers. So if you guys enjoyed, if you stick through this whole thing, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, ring the bell for notifications. Anyway, this has been Zaya from Zaya and the Steelers, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.